Beyond the Games, your daily insight into Guernsey 2023. Proudly sponsored by SG Kleinwort Hambros Bank Limited, Guernsey branch and Jersey branch.
To come back here and deliver the goods is just my dream. So to get the gold medal in front of family, friends and people I know is just world class and amazing.
2 days after claiming a national title over 400 metres in a season best of 49.49, hurdler Alistair Chalmers showed the home crowd what he can do at Foots Lane last night. Breaking a games record, Chalmers won the 400 metre hurdles in 49.83, with teammate Peter Curtis coming second. Nick Mann was at Foots Lane to watch history being made.
You're coming here on the back of that UK champs as well, so it's got to be a difficult ask.
Yeah, honestly, it's been hard. I mean, in a couple of days I ran 49.5 and 49.8, so it's been good. I wanted to, of course, go a bit quicker at both, but wind conditions have been pretty rough lately, so I did my best, but I got a bit carried away over hurdle 10, waving the crowd, because you've got to give back a little bit, and that's just what I do. Everyone knows that. I always come and put on a show, and I loved it.
And talk about those wind conditions. How does that affect you as a hurdler?
Yeah, I mean, we probably got the hardest event for that. I mean, stride patterns and just staying composed throughout the race is a massive deal. So, yeah, coming down that back straight into the top end was really tricky, and then home straight really hard as well. So, just had to really think about my stride pattern, which I hit, which I was really proud of. But, yeah, it definitely slows you down and it messes up. I mean, we're in 20 mile an hour winds over here, so to go sub 50, break the track record and the Island Games record is world class, and so happy to do it on home turf.
You're listening to Beyond the Games with Bailiwick Express. I'm Laura Clayton. While Alistair Chalmers was breaking records at Foots Lane, Guernsey swimmers were breaking records at Beausejour. For the second night in a row, Guernsey's women, Tatiana Tostevin, Orla Raby, Laura Lacroix and Hannah Jones broke an Island Games record. On Monday night, it was in the women's 4x50 metre freestyle relay. Last night, it was in the women's 4x50 metre medley relay. Teammate Molly Staples, who herself won silver in the 50 metre butterfly last night, has been cheering them on.
A lot of shouting, and I mean, it's only day 2 of the swimming, so I think by the end of the week, I don't even know how I'm going to be able to shout.
What's the atmosphere like in there?
Oh, it's incredible. It's an experience that you can't describe. Honestly, especially at home games, that whole crowd, all of my friends from school, all my family, they're in there, and it's so loud.
There were more medals in the pool last night, notably for the Hallett brothers, Charlie Joe and Ronnie. On Monday night, Ronnie beat Charlie Joe to the gold medal in the 50 metre breaststroke. Last night, they swapped podium positions with Charlie Joe first and Ronnie second.
It felt good. Had to get some payback tonight, but yeah, it was all about coming 1-2 in both the 50 and the 100 breaststroke. So yeah, we're both over the moon with it, to be honest.
How competitive are you between the two of you?
Very. I mean, I was more happy for him, to be honest, because he's been knocking on the door of beating me for a long time, and he finally did it last night, executed a perfect race. So yeah, it was hard, but it was good to see.
And what did it feel like then, beating your older brother?
It was really good, but to be honest, he's been on top for many years now, so nice to get a little bit of payback for once.
So do you think this is going to be the start of you beating him in races?
I reckon it'll get more even now. I reckon, yeah.
Tonight, I think we knew that we were going to be first and second, so it was just not getting too carried away, relax and focus on executing our races, and we did that perfectly tonight and last night.
Okay, am I over-egging the sibling rivalry, or is that a factor in your swimming?
It is, but then it's not the biggest thing. I mean, we just want to push ourselves to the limits and take it as far as we can in this sport. So, yeah.
I mean, how much more have you guys got to give? Another few Island Games, bigger competitions?
I think we got eyes on the next Commonwealth Games in Victoria. Yeah. And I think by that point, we will definitely be looking at potentially finaling and medalling in those events, 50 and 100 breaststroke. So, yeah. I mean, that's the goal in 3 years' time, but we'll have to wait and see until then.
There were more medals for Guernsey yesterday at the Bowls, where Alison Merrion, Catherine Bonsall and Shirley Pettit came out on top in the open triples after an unstoppable group stage. They took the Falkland Islands men's team down a peg in the final with a victory of 20-6. In the mountain bike racing at Delancey Park, The men's team of Andrew Culver, John Maple, James Rowe and Mike Seraphin and Bradley Vodin won gold, while the women, Megan Dowington, Jade Packham, Joanna Pettit, Kylie Vodin and Chloe Woods won team silver. There were silver and bronze individual medals for James Rowe and Bradley Vodin respectively. Now, there'll be no medals for the men's or ladies' football teams after losses for both in their final group matches of the NatWest International Island Games tournament. The men lost 2-1 to the Isle of Wight, while the ladies lost 6-0 to the Western Isles. At the archery, there were a Team GB competitor from Jersey and a World Championship entrant from the Faroe Islands. Jersey's Lucy O'Sullivan took time out to explain how the sport works.
Well, so yesterday we had a separate competition where we could get medals, and then today's again another separate competition. We get a ranking that then gives us the seeding for the knockouts. If we're in first place today, we go against last place. Second goes against second last, and so on.
And you must be one of the favourites then going into this competition. I know you did perform well yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, thanks. So I'm actually coming into this competition, I was quite nervous because I'm shooting against a former GB friend who's from the Isle of Man. So I knew that it was going to be a really tough competition because they're just such they're the dark horses, those Isle of Man people. So yeah, anything could have happened. I think in the Jersey games, I think she beat me in one of the events. So yeah, yesterday getting a gold was just, it was good. It was my comeback. And the Faroes have one of the guys who's been on the World Cup circuit. He's going to be going to his 11th World Championships. He is their team captain and their coach. So when I found out that he was coming and he was the coach for the Faroes, it was, again, it's an unknown, an unknown squad. So they could, they've done really well as well. So today's the ranking for the next 3 days. This afternoon we have mixed teams, so it's one boy, one girl from either the recurve or the compounds. So Molly's recurve, I'm compound. Then tomorrow is the individual stuff, again recurve and compound. And then on Thursday we have the full team squad, so it's 3 archers for compound and 3 archers for the recurve. So the compounds have wheels or cams, and they have sort of scopes. It's a lot more accurate, I would say. The aiming, you kind of aim for a lot longer. It's a lot more accurate, and the distance is closer. And then for the recurve,
it's a lot more sort of heavier when you're holding it. There's no sort of let off, and there's
because you don't have the cams.
No, and it's all like on your fingers. But there are people that swap around between bows. There are, okay. But generally not in the same competitions. They might do like a year with this and a year with that.
On Wednesday, we're now at the halfway point of Games Week. There's more to come across all of the sports, with medals up for grabs across the board. Looking at the medals table at the close of play on Tuesday, and Guernsey remains in gold position, with medals to be decided in cycling, badminton and bowls today. There's all to play for. And you can keep up to date with all of the latest from the Island Games at bailiwickexpress.com. Beyond the Games, proudly sponsored by SG Kleinwort Hambros Bank Limited, Guernsey branch and Jersey branch.